Vice President J.D. Vance appeared on several morning shows this morning. And the one that I really sort of appreciated was the one with George Stephanopoulos, where George Stephanopoulos visibly got upset in his questioning on just about everything, because it turns out that J.D. Vance is one of the best liars. He just simply lies much smoother than Donald Trump is able to do. But the one that got him caught was pretty much the one on Tom Homan, the ICE director, and he was unable to answer the questions, and he just bloviated, and he tries to tell George Stephanopoulos the reason why your show is losing viewers is because you concentrate on all this junk. Look, I'm not posting or videoing what he had to say, what the vice president had to say on all these other issues, because I won't be a promoter of the lies that he tells. But there is one in particular that I think bears mentioning. So I want you guys to watch this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong, instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
Now, note how George Stephanopoulos, even though he know that the vice president wanted to say something else, simply cut him off and said, we'll be right back, etc. The vice president wanted to imply that because Holman wasn't charged by Trump's Justice Department, that somehow he was innocent. We all know the guy is, based on the information we had, took $50,000 in a setup, and we can't get them to admit whether he kept the money, he paid taxes on the money, or whatever. And it is a scandal. Tom Homan got $50,000 in a sting operation, and we don't exactly know what has happened to it. In a government that constantly talk about corruption from the other side, etc., which really, for the most part, isn't existent as it is on the side of the Republicans. Take a look at how many Republicans have been convicted versus Democrats being convicted by any Justice Department. And that is very clear that we have one party that has more of an affinity to corruption than the other. And that is not a political statement. That is not a partisan statement. It is a statement of fact that we find these bribes more often successful on one side than the other in practice and in reality. But anyhow, that George Stephanopoulos made him look so small in dismissing the vice president of the United States and moving on to the other subject is the kind of deference we should give all of these crooks in the current administration, and beginning with the president proper. All of our country's problems, from polarization to ignorance on domestic and international issues to a complete misunderstanding of our economic and healthcare systems, are a direct result of a derelict mainstream media that too often bend over backwards to support corporate or bought politicians' wants, as opposed to the people's needs for real information to make their lives better. Independent media is the only solution to inform truthfully and factually. Why? Because our loyalties are to you, the ones who fund us with small dollar contributions and subscriptions. Please consider supporting our independent media platforms by subscribing to our Egberto Off the Record newsletter at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Again, that is politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. It's an investment that pays incalculable dividends.